Hi there, guys and girls, men and women. So today I'm going to be doing a quick review of a Linux game. So I mentioned in my last video that over the last couple of years I've really fallen in love with Linux, specifically Ubuntu Linux. I just love the fact that there's so much control that I can have over it. Being a developer, it just has an encouraging feeling for me to be able to get underneath the hood and understand how it works better. And the only thing that really would stop me is time. So I pretty much do everything on Linux these days, surfing the web and just doing basic tasks, and for the most part only use Windows for gaming. And even then, sometimes I'll use a virtual machine and pull into Windows that way. So trying to explore the potentials with Linux gaming and seeing what's out there, because I really want to stop using Windows as much as possible. But for the most part, most of the good games and most of the support for gaming out there is with Windows. So one game that I looked at was called Hard Life. It's actually a really fun, easy to play game. You can get it on the Ubuntu store for free, and it's just a casual action game. It's called they call it a beat 'em up game, but I guess it's more of kind of like a shoot 'em up game. And it's similar to this old video game Double Dragon that used to be in the arcade machines and old consoles, but even closer to one of my favorite games on the old 8-bit Nintendo, which was called River City Ransom, just in terms of its artwork style, being very cartoonish and not taking itself too seriously, but more simplistic in the moves, right? You don't have as many complex moves and animations that you do with either Double Dragon or River City Ransom. So it's a casual game, called beat 'em up, more of a shoot 'em up game. And the summary of it, it's a fun game. Don't expect anything mind blowing in terms of graphics or sound. It's not trying to push the envelope in that sense. It's, if anything, kind of celebrates the fact that it's not really that fancy. And I believe it's a pretty short game too. I haven't finished it, but when you start the game, it does show how many levels there are, and that does give indications that it's a pretty short game. But after a few hours, I still haven't beaten the game. Mind you, I'm not very good at video games. I just enjoy playing video games for the novelty factor. And it is pretty simplistic. It's even more simple than some of those older games that it takes after Double Dragon or River City Ransom. Just having a few different moves you can do, but a surprise in the different ways that I can use the moves in terms of timing, in terms of movements, that it actually makes it fun and actually makes it skillful, right, and keeps it interesting. So it's actually got quite a good use of just a few short moves and how to use it. And what I like about it is just it's drop in and drop out. Over the last couple of years, I have been stale with video games because I've been kind of in and out with them, not seeing too many fundamentally new things out there. In my opinion, stuff like the PS4 was just kind of like the PS3 with better frame rates and better graphics, but the same concepts in terms of online gaming was there. And maybe we're moving into next generation with more virtual reality gaming and things like that. But I'd take breaks from games and come back to it and forget the controls and have a learning curve with it, and then just kind of lose momentum with that. And so what I like about it, it's drop in and drop out. You don't really have to spend time doing a tutorial on how does this game work. And it sticks to what a game is meant to be. It's just meant to be fun, right? It's meant to enjoy it, not to change your life or philosophy. It's not trying to immerse you into some historical world. All those type of things are cool, and and ground breaking, stuff like Kingdom Come Deliverance or stuff like that, or trying to be as open world as possible like the Elder Scrolls series. It's just meant to be entertaining and does a great job of that. And it's free. It's free, and you can get it on Ubuntu Linux, so you can't go wrong with it. So, and with it, the hardware requirements pretty much can probably be run with any sort of modern computer, so you don't have that limitation as well. So even things like the artwork style, like even though it's meant to be cartoony and it's not fancy, I found them quite enjoyable. I found them quite funny, and just enjoyed. It was a game that doesn't seem to be taking itself too seriously, and sticking to, like I said, what gaming is, right? So if you want a free Linux game that just kind of very casual, plug and play, just play and go, that puts a smile on your face, try this game out. I found it challenging enough that every time I die, I'd want to go back and beat that spot, but it wasn't frustrating. It wasn't like Dark Souls frustrating where you scream at the screen. It's still an appropriate level of challenge at which you can adjust. So it was just good to see a refreshing game like that. It is what it is. It's just trying to be a game. So yeah, check it out. I mean, this just was a quick sort of synopsis and review that I wanted to talk about this game that probably doesn't get enough credit, and I want to do more reviews on games that don't get probably as much spotlight as such as the mainstream games out there. So and particularly Linux gaming, which I'm doing more of an exploration on. So closing on that, be sure to like and subscribe to this channel if you like it. I also do have another channel that's dedicated only to games, which this one's more of a video blog, which talks about my various hobbies, from cars to games, into music. So that video game channel is called Gandu Gamer. I'll put a link in the description of the video. I also have a website, goodgames.link, which is a video games blog, which I just put back up. It got attacked by a website virus, and I actually just kept it down almost for a couple of years because it was just it just kept on getting attacked by a website virus. However, I restored that, and I've even on that site put up one of my old games that I had made myself, Ninja King Samurai Maze, which you can play through a browser. And if you go to that website or the direct link, it's similar to this game that I'm talking about here, Hard Life, which is just an easy to play game, plug and play, nothing too serious. Eventually I'm gonna try to get back into making games again. I do have a couple things that have been unfinished projects which I've been meaning to restore, so you might want to check that out. And in terms of following me, you can find me on Instagram. That's the social media platform that I'm probably most active on, that will respond at the time being. I'll post a link there. So so anyways, check out this game. It's a probably underrated, underlooked at game if you are a Linux user and just want to have a little bit more entertainment on your system. I think it's worth checking out. Hard Life. Alright, I am signing out. Have a great day.